Hey YouTube. Alright, I'm going to put some poly airbag helpers into the back of a Pajero. So yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing. I jacked the car up, got a jack stand under there, some foam mats to make it a little bit more comfortable. This is a kit over here. This is the ultimate kit. It's pretty much exact same as the red series kit, which on the side of the box, I think, yeah, these are the kits you can get, but yeah, red series can go up to 30 psi, and the ultimate kit, which is this one, goes up to 60 psi. Supposedly good for 450 kilos worth of extra accessories in the back of the car or towing weight. So you get the two bags. They just look like this. They've got a vertical fitting up there. So you get two of them. You get two of these, which these are gonna sit like this and allow a path for the airline to come out, which is this thing here. You've got some convoluted tubing for the airline just to protect it. This is supposed to go on the bottom, so essentially that'll sit in this bottom spring seat, and that's supposed to sit like that. The rest is these springs. They just go around the tubing so that it doesn't want to kink. And then you've got just some fittings for the actual Schrader valves, which are going to go somewhere in the car, somewhere convenient, and cable ties, some other crap in there. And you'll see this thing, that's the exhaust shield. So if the exhaust is apparently within 4 inches of the bags, they don't like it. So yeah, if the exhaust is near the bags, we're chucking that one on as well. See what's involved. I will say from the onset, I've already done a little bit of research on this, and there is many people who don't. This is how polyair suggests installing it. There's plenty of people who do it upside down. So they actually do that like that, and then have the protector at the top. Because you'll see, there's only one video on YouTube from the guys that make the bags, with two blokes putting these in, but they skip the most important step, which is showing you how to do the airline and how to run it through this. And it's quite purpose. I guess it's that they've got a purpose in not showing you, and that is because there's something you have to do, which is remove the spring and drill a hole in the top of your where your springs sit, which not doing that makes it seem like a really easy install, and also it doesn't tell you that you have to drill in your own car, which nobody wants to do. So anyway, I'll show you what's involved with the full step-by-step, and make a decision for yourself if you still want to have a go at doing them. You might want to let the pros drill your car for you. Alright, so this is what we're looking at as far as options go. So you can see, if I shove my phone in between here, you'll see you've got a bolt at the top there. So that's one thing to consider. You definitely have to use the this piece here so that the bolt can be recessed up there. And this is the other bit. There's definitely a giant hole. Actually, I'll have a look from under so you can see. There's definitely a huge hole, so you have to use this bit at the bottom. The problem is I'm not going to pull the spring out, and I'm definitely not going to drill a hole like these polyair mob want you to do. They want you to drill a 15mm hole at the top there for the airline to come out. I don't want to drill that hole, so I'm going to mount the bag inverted, so the air will be coming out the bottom side. I'm going to run it through the control arm, and there's a hole back here. It's not a real easy way of getting a picture of it. Sorry about the video, but there's a big hole there. So I'm going to have the airline basically run through the center of this arm and then pop out that hole, and then I'll just run it up the shock. back of the shock should be fine. Okay, I just learned something from the first one, so I'll show you now. You see how you've got the larger radius piece of rubber. Just find where the recess is there and just mark on it, the top of it there. That's because when you're putting it in, for a start, you can't see where the recess is when it's going up. But I'll just draw you a picture. You'll see at the top of the spring, let's say that's the top of the spring, there's a bolt up there that's sticking out. It's sharp as well and long. What you're going to have to do, this is what your rubber recess is going to look like. You have to arrange this so that it points towards that bolt when you get it up there. For this bottom piece of rubber that's going to be mounted like that in the bottom of the spring seat, I'm going to have the air coming out through the bottom like many people have done. I've read quite a few threads on the forum and it's pretty common that they do it that way. The problem is the polyair kit doesn't have a hole in the bottom rubber, so I'm going to drill a hole in it now. I can tell you now, drilling through rubber while you hold it in your hand and the drill in the other hand is one of the easiest ways to do yourself a mischief with a drill. Chuck the rubber in a vise, it's heaps easier because you'll feel the rubber wants to fight against you as you drill into it. I ran a 13mm drill through this, biggest bit I've got, and then I stepped the ends out a little bit, and that seems to be good. The spring fits in there now, so yep, that's all we need. I imagine it's easier to put the airline on while it's outside of the spring. That way I can just feed the line through the side of the spring and out the hole. So yeah, I just got one of these little fittings that come with it. I'm hoping this just pushes straight on. Fairly easy. Push that down to the base. And then I'll just get my pliers and move that clamp down. So getting that rubber thing, it was a mission, absolute mission. I didn't want to go in between the things. I had to use a gigantic bar to separate the springs to even get it to just fit through. Anyway, I've run this line through and out the bottom now. So all I got to do is fit the bag through there and she'll be nestled nicely in the spring. As you can see, everything's covered in fucking WD-40. So yeah, factor about $20 worth of WD-40 into your install. It's actually pretty difficult getting the bag in there, harder than I thought. Mainly because the valve, the bit that stuck out the bottom of the bag, wanted to snap off as I was fitting it in. So I really had to crunch it all flat and then shove it in there. And then give it a massage with the old spanner, being careful not to pinch anything. The tube did kink a little bit, but only for a few seconds, and then it returned back to shape. So yeah, hopefully that's all good. So now I'm just going to shove the spring up here into the rubber and work out how I'm going to do my airline, where I'm going to route it to. So, the other thing to consider is your exhaust is right here. So you're absolutely going to need that heat shield that they provide you. So I'll put that on too, which can't say, it looks like a bit, doesn't matter what it looks like, it's going to be functional, but it's going to look shit, but oh well. So the line comes out the bottom, goes through the middle of the arm here, and then pops out just out of this. There's quite a big hole just at the bottom of the shock there. Where I'm going to run it to is the biggest conundrum, because I don't want it near the exhaust. Possibility of getting hot. I'm going to make a decision. I was super tempted just to let them sit in here, and when I want them I could just pull the valve out, but I think a lot of crap might get in there, like mud and debris and stuff. So I am going to route them out somewhere else. yeah, put the convoluted tubing on too before I started threading it, so that if it got spiked by anything, it wouldn't wreck the tube. Alright, so the problem I've got is don't really know where to put the Schrader valves. On my old car, they sort of popped out here. Everyone knows the departure angle on the Pajero is pretty bad. That's why I've got a bash plate there, and I've had like mud and dirt and stuff go up in there when I've reversed into ground before. So I don't really want anything at the tow bar end. I've seen, if you like mucking around, or you like the, you know, James Bond or something, you can put it in your fuel cap. So once that pops open, you got your two Schrader valves there. But actually, I'll just quickly show you. So the just the shape of the inside of here, it's really not. They've really like gone out of their way to make everything curved. I thought there'd be a nice flat surface, and I've just given up trying to pick a spot that isn't too close to the filler. So yep, I'm not doing that either. What I am doing, and I don't know if this is the best answer. It probably isn't, because it doesn't feel like it is. But what I've done is I've just ended it here. I've put the Schrader valve on. I'm going to tuck it into the convoluted tubing. Tuck all of it in there, just like that, so it's nice and protected. And then I'm tucking it up under there like that. And I think that's going to be a decent level of protection. I know this is going to be, this whole recess just fills with dirt and stuff, but at least it's kind of tucked up there and it's all wrapped up. I could even put some electrical tape on it, and when I want it, I'll just pull it out, take the lid off, and off we go. Change it. And to be honest, it isn't something that I'm going to play with too much. I just want to pump it up and leave it at a certain height, because there's certain things I always have in the back of the car anyway. So that's that side sorted. So I'm going to put a little bit of air in these before they drop down. So yeah, got a bit of air in there, and then you're supposed to get a bottle of spray and white detergent, and just soap your water, and then just check for leaks. Yeah, I'll just chuck that air in there. I don't know if you can see, but I've also put a heat shield in there just to stop the exhaust heat getting onto the airbag. That come with a kit. So another thing to consider is just make sure your airline, you leave enough slack in it for the suspension to go full travel. I'm right, because mine was jacked up when I cable tied all the airline in, and I'm sorry about the video, but yeah, when I cable tied mine in, there's enough slack in that, so it's, when I've dropped the suspension down, it's caused a little loop there. I've just checked that on both sides, made sure the loop isn't too much of a kink, which is fine. And already I can see a huge, remarkable change in the stance of the suspension. Before, the car had a little bit of a, before, to be honest, it was level, but now it's definitely jacked on the rear. Definitely jacked up on the rear, and so I dropped it down to 10 pound, and even then it's definitely gained some lift. I've got the figures, which I'll show you now. So before, the rear, like this back left tyre here, was 78 centimetres. Actually, it was both sides on the rear was 78 centimetres from the bottom of the rim to the top of the guard, and now they're both 80 centimetres and that's just with 10 pound in the bags, 10 psi. And of course, as you add load, I can just add more into the bags, and because they're the ultimate bags, you can go up to 60 psi, so should definitely be right when we're towing. It shouldn't sag at all. But anyway, I'm going to go for a test drive, come back, recheck the measurements, but anyway, I'm pretty happy that it's already changed stance of how it was before.